We're back for our daily NBA best bets here on the channel for Wednesday, October 22nd. It is day 2 of the NBA season. And of course, we've got 5 best bets for today's games. And folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA best bets here on the channel. Again, we're doing this every day throughout the NBA season and on all the way through the NBA finals. Also, go make sure to check out our additional content here on the channel. Weekly college football predictions, over 4 hours of college football predictions here for week number 9. Also, yesterday we posted our NFL predictions for week number 8. We've got our MLB best bets returning on Thursday night for the World Series. And also on Greedo Plays MMA UFC 321 predictions, Tom Aspinall taking on Ciryl Gane in the main event for the heavyweight championship. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets for this Wednesday slate of basketball, kicking things off with our first money line. I don't have it set like I did with the MLB. I did, one player prop a day. Obviously, nerfies aren't a thing for basketball. And then 2 money lines. It's really just dependent on what I like per day. I mean, really, it's only money lines / spreads and player props. I guess I could do over-unders, but I'm not going to jump into that until we get at least a couple weeks into the season because there's no trends to look at just yet. Anyways, our first bet of the day is going to be Cleveland Cavaliers money line on the road in New York against the New York Knicks. Don't forget the Cavaliers were the best team last year in the Eastern Conference, at least in the regular season. We saw what happened in the postseason. Actually, Tyrese Halliburton sent both of these guys home. Anyway, both these teams home. Regardless, though, Cavaliers and Knicks on ESPN. Cleveland will be without they'll be without Darius Garland. DeAndre Hunter is questionable for this game. The New York Knicks are going to be without Mitchell Robinson. He's already on load management before the season's even started. And Josh Hart, another big, player on this Knicks team, rotational piece, is not going to be playing either. So I would assume the Knicks are going to move Cat back down to the 5 tonight, and obviously Brunson, Bridges, and OG Anunoby are going to start. Who will be the 5th starter? Either Deuce McBride or Jordan Clarkson. I think that has to be Deuce McBride. Clarkson's always been more of a 6th man type guy off the bench. Or you start Yabu, but I don't think they start Yabusele. So, again, Knicks without Mitchell Robinson. We saw in the playoffs how different they were with Mitchell Robinson and without Mitchell Robinson. They don't play the best defense without Robinson on the court. And I get it, right? Jalen Brunson, great player. Karl Anthony Towns, again, both guys are very great scorers. The problem with the Knicks has always been their bench. And again, with Mitchell Robinson healthy, it allows you to move Josh Hart to the bench. Again, neither of those guys are playing. The Knicks are going to run an 8-man rotation tonight. 7-man rotation tonight. I can pretty much guarantee that unless we see Landry Shamet minutes, which I don't think we're going to. I highly doubt Kolek sees the court. So it's going to be Brunson, let's just say Brunson, Deuce, Bridges, Adenubi, and Cat, and then Clarkson and Gershon Yabusele off the bench. I mean, again, I get it. It's, Tom Thibodeau is not around anymore, but who else do you play? I'm so serious. This is not a Tibbs rotation anymore, and we can't go back to that like we did so many times last year and say, well, okay, Brunson's going to play 40 minutes. Who plays tonight? I mean, you have a solid 9-man rotation on most nights, but no Robinson, no Hart. Who else is going to play? I mean, maybe they dig deeper into that bench, and if they do, I'm okay with that. The Cleveland Cavaliers are without Darius Garland. We saw Cleveland for so many stretches of last season not play with Darius Garland, and they were fine. And I don't know if they're going to start Lonzo tonight. I'd assume they would, or maybe they start Dean Wade and just get really big. I doubt it, but maybe they do. Again, losing Garland, who's a former All-Star, sucks, and Max Strus is out as well for the foreseeable future, or at least a couple weeks, maybe a month. Guys, this is still a good basketball team. Donovan Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. I mean, again, you got Evan Mobley, who's one of the best defenders in all basketball, obviously. All-star. DeAndre Hunter is one of the best 3-and-D guys in the sport. Donovan Mitchell, obviously, top 15-ish player in the sport as well. And I get it, Cleveland's going on the road to New York here, but the Cavaliers saw so much success against New York last season that should carry into this year as well. Again, what will Lonzo Ball be for this team this year? I don't know. Again, Lonzo was not horrible last year in his role, coming back from injury after a while with the Chicago Bulls. Obviously got outshined a little bit due to the fact that Josh Giddy kind of did everything better than Lonzo except for defense. I think it's a good, fresh start for Ball. I'm kind of sad he gets, kind of grouped into the washed guys anthem with, Paul George, CP3 on the Clippers again, or Kevin Love on the Jazz. I see those montages of everybody washed, and then Lonzo pops up. Dude, he's 27. He should be entering his prime right now. Anyways, I think Cleveland is the way better team in this spot. I get it's in the Garden. I don't really care, guys. I'm looking at a Knicks lineup that is already injured to start the season. Yes, no Garland for the Cavaliers. I think, again, Cleveland's able to make up for what they lose to Garland compared to what the Knicks are going to have to make up without Mitchell Robinson and Josh Hart. Again, are Robinson and Hart individually going to do as much as Darius Garland can potentially do in one night? No. But just losing both of those guys and having to deal with the rotation, and again, I don't know if they're going to go back into Tibbs mode, where I know, again, Tibbs is gone, but I don't know if they'll go back into Tibbs mode where they go, oh, we'll just go 7-man rotation tonight, or they just dig deeper into the rotation, and now, okay, we're playing Tyler Kolek, we're playing, Landry Shamet, we're playing Trey Jemison. If they do that, that works out even better for us. Cleveland's going to be able to outscore this team. Obviously, one of the highest scoring teams in all of basketball last year. Again, they just ran into a very good Indiana Pacers team in the postseason. Do not forget how good Cleveland was in the regular season. I mean, remember, there were big matchups when Cleveland took on OKC in the regular season because it was the best offense in basketball versus the best defense in basketball. And obviously, Indiana took their shine in the postseason, and they became the best offense. But Cleveland scores, and they score a lot. I like Cleveland to go into New York and win this basketball game on ESPN. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers minus 115 on the road in the Garden. On to our second best bet of the video. We go to our best player prop. We go to the Bulls at home against the Detroit Pistons. Let's go Josh Giddy, guys. I feel like this line is just low for Josh Giddy. Over 28.5 points and rebounds. I saw 38.5 for points, rebounds, and assists. Don't like that, because then what we need Giddy to, basically put up 10 assists on top of that. I'm okay. Guys, Josh Giddy last season with the Chicago Bulls was an all-star in the second half, right? This is a guy who I'd personally be shocked if he was not an all-star this season. The numbers Josh Giddy put up in the second half of the year last year for Chicago was nothing short of amazing. 20 points per game, 10 rebounds a game, 9 assists a game for Josh Giddy. And yes, that does equate to 38 PRA per game, but Josh Giddy on average, again, will average, I just said on average twice, but he will put up 30 points and rebounds per night. That is where he usually sits at. And I look at a game like this where, again, rebounds should still be huge for Josh Giddy, at least just in general this season. And also, you take away Kobe White from the equation tonight, who is injured. You would think, oh, maybe that's going to benefit Giddy, assists-wise. Maybe, but again, just you look at the splits in terms of what Giddy did on the boards and what he did, at least dishing out the rock. I kind of like the rebounds prop a lot better, personally. You look at what Chicago is going to be starting tonight. Josh Giddy at the 1. Herter or DeSumo at the 2, I assume. Okoro at the 3. Matas Buzelis has officially been moved to an everyday starting role. And then Vucevic is back yet again at the 5. You don't really have too many rebounders, obviously. And that's why Giddy was able to, snatch so many boards last season. Vucevic is 6'9", right? Not to say Vuce won't still get his boards. It's just it creates for a lot of opportunity for Josh Giddy as well. And Josh Giddy crashes rebound pretty much every single possession because, again, he's going out to take the ball off the court anyways. But you look at what Giddy did scoring-wise last season. Again, it was the best year of his career. You can look at his averages from 2024, 2025. 14.5 points a game, 8 boards, 7 assists. The difference of what happened with Josh Giddy's second half of the year is that he actually started creating for his own bucket. He started scoring himself. And I think the Bulls are going to be nasty this season with him and Kobe White. Don't get me wrong. I just don't love that Chicago really didn't add anything else. But Josh Giddey's going to average 34 minutes a night, maybe more. He plays a lot for this team, and near triple-double every single night for Josh Giddy. Look at what he was doing at the tail end of the regular season last year. Josh Giddy was putting up 28 points, 16 boards. He had a game against the Portland Trailblazers. He had 19 rebounds in that game. Giddy was he was a triple-double machine last season for the Chicago Bulls. Hell, look at what he put up against the Miami Heat in the play-in game. I know they lost that one in Chicago, but Giddy puts up 25 points and 10 boards in that game. And saying that Josh Giddey's Josh Giddy should put up 25 points tonight. He should. He should score about 25. No Kobe White in the lineup. I get it. Buzelis is going to be better in another year in the league. Okoro, all right. Who's the first option? It's Josh Giddy. When Kobe's in the lineup, sure, it is Kobe White. But you can argue that sometimes as well. I believe, again, they're going to, the Bulls look to Kobe White before they look to Josh Giddy, obviously. But with Kobe White out for multiple weeks, they are going to need Giddy to get going again in White's absence. So when it's just Josh Giddy in the lineup, Giddy's going to take about 15, 18 shots, and half of those are probably going to be from the three-point line. Josh Giddy's not a bad three-point shooter. I'm serious. Giddy should put up about 25 tonight, and really, that only means we need to get 4 rebounds out of him. Now, even if Giddy's he's going to have a bad night shooting, or bad night scoring, 20, 21 points. Say he gets 21 points. Okay, we just need 8 rebounds. Josh Giddey averaged 8 rebounds last season, but in games in which he played more than 30 minutes, I mean, that average goes up to 10-ish boards a game. I'm telling you, this guy fills the stat sheet. I don't play fantasy basketball, but if I played fantasy basketball, I would take Josh Giddey fairly high, just because of the production he puts out every single night, the scoring ability, the rebounds, the assists. I mean, I know Giddy was on the wrong end of, a bunch of jokes and whatnot a couple of years ago. He's turned into a very productive basketball player, and he's only 23. I joked about it last season, Giddy being that piece from, that Thunder team. Like when you compare the big three of the old Thunder days, obviously with Russ, Harden, and KD, to the new big three with, I mean, I don't know where you put J-Dub in this equation, but I think I put a picture up last year of Chet, Giddy, and Shea, and how they, Giddy's the new James Harden. Again, that was kind of a joke, but Giddy is a legitimate great player, and that's the thing too. Like, the Giddy trade from Chicago, or from OKC to Chicago, worked for both parties. Thunder got a great defender, a great all-around player in Alex Caruso, who helped them make their title push, and Josh Giddey goes elsewhere. He gets paid over $100 million in the offseason, and now he's one of the franchise players, if not the franchise player for Chicago. Again, the Bulls just need to add some big free agent eventually to him and Kobe White. Regardless, though, I'm going to go Josh Giddey today against the Detroit Pistons. It should be a game, again, it should be a high-scoring affair. I believe that's really how a lot of Bulls games are played. I like Giddy today over 28.5 PR. I assume he's going to have an even better year than he did last season, and Giddy, again, was a very productive player last year for Chicago. So it's going to be Josh Giddey over 28.5 points and rebounds today at home. Let's go on to our other best player prop of the day. It is the NBA debut of the first overall pick from Duke. Obviously, that is Cooper Flagg. Now, we're not going to talk about the controversy around Cooper Flagg actually being a Dallas Maverick. I mean, big surprise he didn't end up in, Salt Lake City, Utah, or he didn't end up in Charlotte, North Carolina. They obviously put him in Dallas. Anthony Davis is going to be on the court tonight. D'Angelo Russell's starting, Klay Thompson, and Cooper Flagg. The Mavs aren't bad, and I considered going Dallas spread tonight -2.5, but I laid off because there's 2 other spread bets at the end of the night I like a lot more. But first, we are going to look at Cooper Flagg. Now, Cooper Flagg in the preseason, I don't really put too much into this, so take this with a grain of salt, but Flagg in the preseason, 10 points in his first game in 14 minutes, 11 points against Charlotte in 24 minutes, against the Jazz on the road, 11 points in 21 minutes, and in his final preseason game against the Los Angeles Lakers, 13 points in 28 minutes. I expect Flagg to take a lot more shots. I mean, he was taking 6 shots, 8 shots, 13 in a bad game against Utah, and then 11 against the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, look at that last preseason game. Does play 28 minutes, only takes 11 shots, hits on 5 of them, 13 points. I mean, if Cooper Flagg, again, we get 13-ish, 14, 15 shots a game out of Cooper Flagg, he'll be fine on this line. And I'm looking at this Dallas lineup, I'm like, all right, who's the number one? It's still AD. I mean, it's hard for AD to be a pure number one sometimes, I understand. But with no Kyrie in the lineup, I mean, Cooper Flagg needs to step up right now. And I'm talking about, yes, he needs to step up as a rookie in his first ever game. But that's kind of what Dallas is asking out of him right now. And where would the Mavericks be if Cooper Flagg was not on their squad? I don't know. Again, with the, Cooper Flagg being drafted to Dallas obviously gave this team a whole new sense of life. You trade Luka, you made the most boneheaded move of all time, and you get rewarded because the league might have rigged it to give, and you get another franchise player. Cooper Flagg walks through the doors after you let the Luka situation slip right through, or just you let Luka Doncic slip through your hands. Regardless, though, we're going to make the best out of what we have now, at least in this game, and I'm going to go Cooper Flagg over 15.5 points. Cooper Flagg to only score 16 points should be fine for a guy in which I expect to average around, anywhere from 16 to 18 points per game before Kyrie comes back. When Kyrie comes back into the fold, I would expect those numbers to be down. But I mean, Kyrie's out until second half of the year at best. Latest update on Kyrie is that Jason Kidd refuted the report that Kyrie is ahead of schedule on his recovery. So again, I don't know when Kyrie Irving's going to be back. But yes, Cooper Flagg, I mean, the people are talking about him like he's a generational player. He's no Victor Wembanyama, who obviously is on the opposite side of the court tonight in Dallas. But yes, Cooper Flagg will be the number one for years for Dallas. He's their guy. He's their guy. I mean, if Cooper Flagg, guys, if Cooper Flagg was playing, this is nothing against Ace Bailey, but if Cooper Flagg got drafted by the Jazz tonight and playing, if Cooper Flagg was drafted by the Jazz and he was playing tonight in Utah, I mean, this line would be at about 22.5. I mean, that's how different it is if he's somewhere else. I'm sure Ace Bailey's going to put up great numbers in Utah this season, but obviously this is the guy every franchise wanted. If he's anywhere else, if he's not playing with Anthony Davis, if he's not playing, really AD's the only one that's going to really take too many shots away from him. But if he's not playing with AD and he's not playing on Dallas, he's going, to Charlotte and scoring 1 million points. He's going to Utah and scoring 1 million points. He's still a very talented guy. Obviously, this was the best player last year in college basketball. I know college stats do not translate to the NBA at all in terms of you can't look at, Cooper Flagg averaged 20 points a game in college last year. It's a whole different thing. But this guy is the all-around player. I mean, this is a 5-tool player. I know it's a baseball term, but he's a 5-tool player out there. Cooper Flagg can do anything on the court, and he's only 18 years of age. The dude is the future, and I think on ESPN, first game, I think he's going to find ways to score. I believe that Dallas is going to, again, make sure he scores in this game. There was talk about Cooper Flagg playing point guard for this team. I don't think they're doing that on opening night. Maybe they do, at least in some rotational spots, but I do expect Dallas to probably start D'Lo, Clay, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively. That's not a bad lineup. It's really not. I didn't go -2.5 for this team because I think the games that I picked in a second are better than this, but I do expect Cooper Flagg to be able to score today. Again, he's got a great mid-range game. He can shoot, obviously, from beyond the arc and attacking the rim as well. I mean, Cooper Flagg, again, the total package, over 15.5 points in the NBA debut tonight for the number 1 overall pick out of Duke. Cooper Flagg over 15.5, -120 for the Dallas Mavericks. On now to our fourth best bet of the video. We move to the Moda Center, the Rose Garden, over in Portland, Oregon. We have the Portland Trailblazers hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm going to be going with Minnesota here, -3.5. This line's going to shift one way or the other, okay? The big question mark surrounding this game is obviously, what are the Trailblazers doing with Jeremy Grant? I'm joking. It's Anthony Edwards. Don't know if Ant's playing or not. Ant's got back spasms, I believe it is right now. Yeah, he's questionable with back spasms. Ooh, that's not what you want to hear on opening night. And obviously that changes the trajectory of the game if Edwards is playing or if he's not playing. However, if Ant doesn't play, expect this to go to about even. And if it's at even, we're still firing on Minnesota. If Ant does play, I would expect this line to go to about 4.5, 5.5. In that case, I'd still take it. But that's that's kind of the risk we're taking. So I'm recording this video at about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know. Again, this video goes out in 4 hours. I don't know if Ant's really going to, I don't know if we're going to know his, status by the time this video's up. So that's the gamble we're taking here. Either take -3.5 right now for Minnesota if you think Ant's going to play. If you don't think he's going to play, wait and just take the money line. I don't know. Because I do believe Minnesota without Anthony Edwards does beat the Portland Trailblazers. I'm not going to buy in on Portland just yet. You add, Drew Holiday in the offseason. You ship Anfernee Simons over to Boston. Don't entirely get it. I mean, I get it. They had a logjam at their guard positions, but then you go trade for Drew Holiday, who, again, great vet to have, but I mean, I don't really know what Drew Holiday does for you long-term wise. I can see Drew Holiday honestly getting moved to the deadline for a contender that needs a guy like Drew defensively. So Portland's probably going to be starting Drew Holiday, Shaedon Sharpe, Deni Adjiva, who had a really good second half of the year last year, Tamani Kamara, and Donovan Clingan, who's really good at the 5, obviously took over for DeAndre Ayton once Ayton disappeared. Not like he did last night for the Lakers, but disappeared in about February last season for the Portland Trailblazers. Now, off the bench for Portland, they are bringing Jeremy Grant off the bench, who makes $30 million a year, and he's in a bench role where he's going to play maybe 15 minutes a night. Don't know why he has that contract, but he does. I believe Scoot Henderson's out for the time being. Robert Williams is out right now for Portland as well, but they did draft their big prospect out of China, and Yang Hassan? Yeah, the Chinese center, 20 years of age, 7'1", is now the backup center for now, I guess, for Portland with Williams out. I believe, you use the 10th pick on this guy. I think he's going to play. He's 20 from Zibo, China. Anyways, I think Memphis drafted him, and then obviously it was a pick and trade regardless. I think Minnesota's in a good spot in this game. I still don't buy what Portland has. I'm looking at this team like, all right, where does all the scoring come from? Adjiva, sure. Kamara had a better second half. I don't love it out of Portland. I'm looking at Minnesota. Again, they didn't really do much in the offseason. This is still pretty much the same team that they rolled into the playoffs with last year, and that's fine. They're still a good all-around unit. Rudy Gobert is some nights he's great, some nights he's not. But in a non-postseason environment, yeah, I think Rudy Gobert is going to be perfectly fine. Obviously, you still get that Naz Reid shooting off of the bench. Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, Mike Conley still doing his thing. And the bench is really good for Minnesota as well. I mean, they've got pieces. Dillingham, DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, Terrence Shannon off the bench too. There are pieces for Minnesota, and I think it should be fairly easy for them to go into Portland and win, even without Anthony Edwards. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably, personally, I might wait, because I don't know if Ant's going to play or not, man. I'm starting to think he might not. I don't know. Because I saw some reports saying, like, oh, he's really up in the air, and they'll go to DiVincenzo if he doesn't play. Like, they're already saying, like, okay, watch out for DiVincenzo potentially starting. I still don't mind Minnesota going on the road and winning this game. What about Portland wows you? Exactly. I mean, okay, Denny Adjiva is going to drop 20-ish points. Kamara's been better. Drew Holiday, obviously, defensively, is going to be great for this team. It's still the Trailblazers. I don't know. I mean, they had a better second half of the year last year, don't get me wrong, but not to put too much into last season, but this is a 36-win Portland team taking on Minnesota, who just lost in the Western Conference Finals against the team that ended up winning the NBA championship in the OKC Thunder, right? This is a 49-win team versus a 36-win team. I mean, I'm going to go with Minnesota. Now, obviously, their odds of winning the game goes way up if Edwards does play, but if not, there are other players on this team that can make up for some of what Ant does. Not obviously all of it, but Randall can score. Hell, if you put Terrence Shannon in a spot where he needs to score, he can. Naz Reid off the bench. There are pieces in this lineup that can score the rock. Again, would you like to have Ant out here? Sure, but if we get better odds for Edwards not playing, I don't mind it. Even again, if Ant does play, I think it is playable up to around -5.5. They should take care of business in Portland. I just don't think the Blazers are I just don't think they're that good yet. So give me Minnesota on the road in the Rose Garden. Next up, we go to our final best bet of the video. Let's go to another spread. This time, we're taking the underdogs. Give me the Sacramento Kings. Oh, yeah. I am taking Sacramento to go to Phoenix and cover 4 points against the Suns. Don't need them to win, just need them to be competitive. Don't get me wrong. This game to me feels like a coin flip. So that's why I'm going to take the extra insurance of taking +4. That's personally what I feel here. I prefer this game, honestly, over Portland and Minnesota. I think I prefer Cleveland the most out of any bet I have this video, but I like this one more than I like Portland and the Timberwolves. Just because, guys, these teams are very similar. Neither of them are going far this year. I could probably argue Sacramento's got a better chance of going to the postseason and actually trying to compete compared to Phoenix. Obviously, the West is an absolute gauntlet right now. But I'm looking at the Phoenix Suns, and nothing has changed from last year other than the fact that obviously a lot has changed from last year. In terms of nothing has changed that I can say, oh, you're better than last season. No, you've gotten worse, right? You bring in Jalen Green, who I actually don't think is a horrible get back for Kevin Durant, considering Durant's age and considering Jalen Green's 23 years old. However, no Jalen Green playing tonight for Phoenix. He injured his hamstring during the Suns' trip to China, and he's going to be out at least another week. So you take away, obviously, the biggest piece that you got back from Houston. Now, Jalen Green is the definition of a volume shooter. There are some nights where Jalen Green looks like the best player on the planet, and he's scoring 30-plus points. There are other nights he goes invisible and scores 5 points. So that's a big, toss-up on Jalen Green, but we don't even have to worry about that part of the equation tonight. So instead of Jalen Green, I'd assume Grayson Allen's going to start, or Royce O'Neal. But okay, this is a starting lineup of Devin Booker, let's say Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn, Dylan Brooks, and Mark Williams. Now, for Sacramento, no Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis is out. He's out with the hamstring injury. Again, probably will be out a week. And that's a big part of the equation missing for Sacramento. But still, you get, EuroLeague, and one of the greatest European League players of all time from Germany, Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, Zach LaVine's at the 3, DeRozan's playing the 4, and I assume they're going to have to play Drew Eubanks at the 5. They have former Stanford Cardinal Maxime Reynaud, but I don't think they're going to play Maxime Reynaud. Anyways, yeah, he's still a rookie, obviously, hasn't played yet. Second round pick. Even though I think Reynaud might be able to do a better job than Eubanks can. He's a lot bigger than Eubanks. Eubanks like 6'10", and he's going to have to guard Mark Williams. That's okay. Mark Williams doesn't scare me too much. Nothing in Phoenix scares me right now with the Suns. Yes, is Devin Booker going to, put up points? Obviously. Guys, Sacramento still got Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Is it a lineup that's going to work and take you to the promised land? No, it's not. Okay. Now, they were good in that one stretch in Chicago before Lonzo got injured, but it's not 2021 anymore. 2020, was that 2021? 2022. It's not. We're in 2025. And it's over. Okay. At least for these, a LaVine DeRozan core being contenders. And hey, the Kings actually have a little bit of a bench. They got Malik Monk coming off the bench, and Russell Westbrook's here. Yep. It wouldn't be NBA season if Russell Westbrook wasn't on a team. I think Russ is going to give them a very good defensive boost off the bench. I think in spots where they need to guard Devin Booker, when D-Book's obviously playing deep into games, I expect Booker to probably play, upwards of 30-plus minutes tonight, obviously. And I think that's where Russell Westbrook can bring a spark off the bench. He is going to be well-rested off the bench, and he can come out there, and his entire job is going to be to lock down Devin Booker. Okay. I mean, I saw Russ last year have a lot of success actually guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There's just, when I look at Phoenix and with no Jalen Green, there's not much help around Devin Booker. A lot is going to be put on what can Book do. Where in past years, and Booker has been playing with Kevin Durant for the last couple of seasons, it's like, okay, well, Book can have his night, KD can have his night, Bradley Beal can have his night. Not usually. It's either D-Book or KD. What else do we have in Phoenix? And I get it. Is Sacramento a juggernaut? No, I'm not trying to hype you on Sacramento. This is honestly more of a pick against the Phoenix Suns than it is for the Sacramento Kings. But the Kings, guys, let's not forget last season, even in a year in which the Suns had Kevin Durant, they had a worse record than Sacramento. Sacramento last year was better than the Phoenix Suns through the injuries the Kings had, through the De'Aaron Fox trade. They had a better record than the Phoenix Suns. And they made the play-in. Now, they went to the play-in and lost right away to the Dallas Mavericks at home in Sacramento, but that's neither here or there. This was a team that found a way to win 40 games. Phoenix was the ultimate disappointment last year with KD, with Book, and again, Bradley Beal, and they still couldn't find a way to win more than 36 games. I like Sacramento in this spot, and again, we don't even need the Kings to win. We have +4 on Sacramento, and I compare lineups. The best player on the court, that is Devin Booker. I'm not going to deny that. He is the greatest Phoenix Sun of all time, right? He's the best player on the court. You compare the rest of the starting lineups. I'm taking a lineup with Schroeder, Keon Ellis, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Drew Eubanks, and help off the bench in Westbrook and Malik Monk compared to a Suns team that's, okay, D-Book, a banged-up Grayson Allen who's probably going to play, Ryan Dunn, Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams, and then who's coming off your bench? Malich, obviously the rookie out of Duke, playing the 5, Royce O'Neal, Colin Gillespie. Yeah, I'm going to side with Sacramento in this spot. Might be the last time you hear me say that all year long because the Kings are the Kings, but I guess I'm happily taking the Sacramento Kings to win this game. Sure, I'm happily taking the Kings. I get it. There's injuries against Sabonis, no Keegan Murray. That's okay. I'm going Sacramento winning the game on the road, but again, I'm going to take the +4 while we're at it. I believe it's somewhat of a coin flip, and if we're given 4 points, well, obviously that sways this game in favor for Sacramento, in my opinion. So give me the Kings in the desert. Folks, thank y'all for watching our 5 best bets for the NBA here on night 2 of the NBA season. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you did disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA best bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.